Hello, everybody.
Hello.
This is Anna, and I'm James, and just sort of saying hello, really. Very nice to see the wonderful students here who seem to have an incredibly busy week. They scarcely get 1 minute off, and you must all be running out of voice, I think, but you're made of stronger stuff than me. So, shall we just kick off?
Yeah.
Will you, when you come to perform, introduce yourselves and
what you're going
to say what you're going to do.
Yeah,
great.
lovely.
Thank you. Thanks.
We are Lucas and Elia from Catalonia, Germany, Colombia.
Wow.
Everything. And we will perform Dein Blaues Auge by Johannes Brahms and with text by Klaus Kohl.
Do you want to tell us a little bit about the song?
Yeah. It's a person who talks to his ex-beloved. And this beloved one had blue eyes, blaues Augen. And he remembers, or she remembers, the feeling of that love and also the pain, the good thing, the bad things and the good things.
Dein blaues Augen hält so still, ich blicke bis zum Grund. Du fragst mich, was ich sehen will, ich sehe mich gesund. Es brannte mich ein Glutbau, noch schmelzt das Nachgefühl. Das Deine ist wie See so klar. Und wie ein See so kühl, und wie ein See so kühl.
Absolutely beautiful performance, both of you. Really magical, and so many things that I really enjoyed about it. And not least, there's quite a big bit at the beginning and at the end where you're not singing, and you're wonderfully good at involving yourself in the piano music.
It's easy with him.
I would love to hear it again, and I wonder if it might just go a whisker faster.
Yeah.
Just a whisker. It may not be necessary, but I just wonder whether it would help you make these long lines. Because at the moment, it's beautiful what you're doing, but I feel as if you're making something special out of every moment, and it just needs a slightly longer line. Does that make sense to you?
Completely.
A little bit?
Yep.
Anything?
And I mean, it was so beautiful, and it was like a tiny little miniature, and it was wonderful how you drew us into you. But I just think you can maybe find a little bit more contrast in it.
Yeah.
You know, there's quite a lot of markings that Brahms puts in with the fortes down to with the diminuendos, and I think that kind of yearning feeling that you get in that da 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 with how he's written that, I think you can find even more, you can squeeze even more sort of emotion out of that beautiful line. It was really, really beautiful, but I just think you can give us a little bit more, and always thinking in terms of how far it's got to reach when you're performing. Even if you're in a relatively small space, the energy that you need to give to your expression, I think could be a little bit bigger. Mm-hmm. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So just slightly exaggerating those things, but it was very beautiful.
Okay.
Sorry?
It's tricky, I mean, seeing that forte there, but so what I would think very much is what is the emotion behind that note? I mean, I used the word before, yearning isn't quite right maybe in this, but if you can think for yourself of the way that you want to play that note, the feeling behind that note, rather than seeing forte and think, oh, I need to play it loud. She just said, you know, make more contrast. But if you've got a sort of an emotional intention behind how you want to play it, I think that might be easier. So don't see forte and think it's got to be loud. Think it's got to be, I don't know, passionate or longing or something like that.
Yeah.
Dein blaues Auge hält so still, ich blicke bis zum Grund. Du fragst mich, was ich sehen will, ich sehe mich gesund.
Great. That's absolutely lovely. Now, just right at the beginning, I mean, I feel the poem is a little bit like you're looking for an emotion, a sigh. And I wonder whether you might actually breathe when you're playing the opening. Yeah, so you actually physically breathe before the opening and feel that the first two bars are a sort of out breath, and then you breathe again for the third bar. Does that make sense?
Something that I often say to people is to facilitate that is to start with your hands in your lap and take a breath, and as you take a breath you lift your hands up, so there's no kind of held moment here like how am I going to push these keys down. Literally make it like one movement. And just I often do that if you know you've got to try and get that sound so how you want it. I find that the easiest way to achieve that rather than holding.
Just notice that du fragst mich, was ich sehen will. Ich sehe mich gesund. He's written forte for this. So, du fragst mich, was ich sehen will. Ich sehe mich. Just give it. It's not necessarily, just like Anna's saying, not necessarily loud, but I think it needs suddenly, ich sehe mich gesund. You know, and I think we want to really feel that is a positive statement. Yeah?
A greater intensity, I think. Also, just be slightly careful. I'm always allergic to heavy upbeats and Dein blaues Auge. I mean, I can see how you could want to enunciate that, but a little bit more Dein blaues Auge maybe. Yeah, and again, I felt that, a couple of times on your upbeats, that you make sure they're not too heavy. Ich blicke, ich sehe. Where was the other one? There was one. Oh yeah, this one at the end, which is tricky. But und wie, and really think where you're going through there. So yeah.
I loved the slightly faster tempo. It just rolled a little bit. It still feels slow, which is correct. You know, poco lento, but it just allowed the music to flow a little bit. Great. Have another go.
I could just take one, once the voice comes in, don't be too reticent. I could just take a little bit more sound. It's sort of quite thin, a lot of it. This is not, and it's sort of quite spread out, and I could just take a little bit more kind of harmony coming through. Maybe be careful you don't change the pedal too often. I can see you're thinking about bringing the bass line through, but I think it can just have a little bit more richness of tone through there. Again, seeing piano there, I think you're, wanting to bring it away, but it really, to support the texture, I think,
Okay.
a little bit more. That's lovely.
Dein blaues Auge hält so still, ich blicke bis zum Grund. Du fragst mich, was ich sehen will, ich sehe mich gesund. Es brannte nicht ein Glimmer, noch schmelzt das Nachgefühl.
It's lovely. Can I just stop you for a moment? Just as an experiment, really, your two bars you have, bars 12 and 13. I just wonder, with the context of the journey that we're going on through the text, whether you kind of keep going through there rather than holding up, that you go towards that C flat. Just try it, and it just might help you coming in with a little bit more urgency. And then keeping the momentum through this next phrase. It gets a lot more dense for you. And we've got all these C flats and things. It gets sort of darker and everything. And it just, I just wonder if you can, there's a crescendo up through there, and I just wonder if you can build it a little bit more. It's like the real intense part of the song, the most intense part of the song.
Just one tiny thing about the text. I feel that word noch is quite important. Es brannte mich ein glühend Paar, noch schmerzt das Nachgefühl. So, I'm still in pain from this look, this vision of the past. Still noch, and it's written on a small note. Glühend Paar, noch schmerzt. So that the noch is really still important. Not to throw it away. Good. Just go from the bottom of the... Ich sehe mich gesund, from your Sund.
Sund. Es brannte mich ein Glimmer, noch schmelzt das Nachgefühl. Das Deine ist wie See so klar.
Okay, it's lovely, but again, I just feel like it's getting a little bit stuck.
Yes.
Yeah, the flow of the line is, and there are lots of gorgeous little moments, and that's great. But we also need to make sure that there are times when it just flows.
You obviously feel the same.
Yeah.
Is da 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 dum da 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 dum da 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 dum da 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 dum is a pattern, and it needs to have that tumbling thing. Just when you're doing your Nachgefühl, you tend to nach. You're actually stopping the sound a little before the turn. Nach, and I wonder if das Nachgefühl, if you can really legatoize. It's not a word, is it? But you know what I mean. Really sing through the turn. So it's not na, but Nachgefühl. Do you want to just try on your own, just nach? So all it is you're going from here to there, and the rest of it is just a means of embellishing the movement. So it's Nachgefühl. The top C flat the second C flat needs to be the most important note. 3, 4. And a little bit faster on the turn, once again. Good, and really legato, na. So that what I'm still hearing is slightly na, and maybe you're not aware of it.
Okay.
Really move forward between those two notes, 3 and 4. So na, it almost changes pitch just because of the crescendo.
Yeah.
All right. Now a little bit quicker on the. So the ya da da dum is your. I feel it's too slow. It's good. What I'm hearing at the moment is na, and what I want is nachgefühlen and. Yeah, that's lovely. Let's pick it up from there, and you carry on and rolling through this sequence. Just from nach, just there.
Again?
Yeah, exactly. Da 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 ya da 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 da.
Yeah.
May I make one tiny suggestion? Sorry, Anna. If you think of the z of z as being on the top note, so it's not z, it's not that, it's z. Shall I have another go? Actually, so sing a really long z, for ages. That's it. Ist wie, what is it?
Ist wie
Ist wie-
Ist wie,
so klar.
ist wie sie. Good. Just for practice terms, try doing two notes on the word V. Ist wie sie. Più legato, wie sie. And again. Lovely. Now just do it in time. Ist wie sie. Now, obviously, that's not what he's written. So you need to make the first of those two E flats terribly short.
Okay. Hi.
And imagine you're singing Ist wie sie. Just sing that. And a little bit quicker. Ist wie sie. Good. Now just Ist wie sie. But imagine you're still up there. Lovely. Go back to Nachgefühl.
Das nachgeholt.
Keep going. Well done. Really good.
Yeah, I just, and I mean, I know you're thinking about all these things, but I just think, yeah, these phrases just need to keep moving again, and I think you can have a little more influence and help her through them. I just could take a little bit more tone out of this left hand.
Yeah.
I don't know what this piano's like, but yeah, I could just take a little bit more to support the sound. So don't be too shy with it. Okay. As I said, it's quite thin, the texture again here, and so like really hearing these chords, and we need them a little bit more. Can we go from straight on 18? And yeah, and just keep the phrase moving. Okay, and because you've got this phrase repeated at the end, I just wonder, maybe you do want to take a little bit of time to help set you up for that top G. So if you keep going more da 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 da, that you really place that E flat, because he has put a crescendo up to there. Yeah, and then I think that might help facilitate you doing the repetition of the text slightly differently, and deciding what you want between the two of you, whether you want it sort of more intense, less, why has he set it twice?
For me, well, we were talking about that, so I think we have the same opinion, right? Well, no.
And do you go to the same place? Und wie ein See so cool, is it the same the second time, or do you go more towards the cool?
Yeah, and the first time I go more to the so cool.
Okay.
And the second one, so.
Okay.
Very good.
Fine. So that needs to come across a little bit more. And let's just try that last.
The bar that you come in, und wie ein See, just the beginning of that line.
I really, really like it. You just need to allow her a little bit more time, and I think that's a beautiful way of doing it.
Beautiful, really works well.
Way. And then it really sets him up as well with the start of the postlude. Can we just do it once more so you really have that ensemble?
Yes.
Make sure we really hear that clash, the G flat with the F. That's it. Really beautiful, really beautiful.
Wonderful, both of you. I'm afraid we've run out of time, so it's wonderful to have you. Fantastic performance. So who's up next?
Hello.
Hi.
So would you do the Schumann? Is that okay?
Yeah, that's fine.
Brilliant.
Absolutely. We can start with the Schumann, and if we have time, it'd be great to look at Nacht und Träume.
Yeah, of course.
So it'd be Niemand. Yeah.
So perhaps if you could just tell us all who you are and what you're going to do.
I'm Dino Natsias, Lithuanian tenor, and this is Bunny Fangling. And today we have Niemand by Robert Schumann, and the poem is by Burns himself. And in this one, I believe Robert was actually, it was sort of a dig at the Clara's father, but now he's got Clara, and he's not sharing her with anyone.
Okay.
Ich hab ein Weib allein und alles Traum mit niemand. Nicht anderen will ich sein, zum anderen mach ich niemand. Ein Säckchen Gold ist mein, doch dafür dank ich niemand. Nichts hab ich zu verlangen, morgen soll mir niemand. Ich bin nicht andere Herren und ertöne niemand. Doch meine Klinge ist nicht, ich fürchte mich vor niemand. Gekarrt bin ich, doch wenn geh ich mit niemand. Schert niemand sich mich, so scher ich mich niemand.
Well done, well done. It's very, very, very staccato. And I just wonder if there could be a little bit more length to the notes from both of you, really. For it to really kind of reach the back of a hall, I'm just concerned with it being so broken up that we don't hear the line. It's so very, very broken up. It makes it very, very vertical.
Okay.
And I think you'll still get the energy in the articulation, but maybe just with really, really singing through the phrases a little bit more, kind of with a syllable, a word on every single note. You're going to get a lot of articulation anyway, and I just think it needs a little bit more line. Also, for us to make sense of the text, because it's so broken up. It's kind of hard to make sense of it. And I think for you playing, I mean, I always have this thing, I'm very allergic to staccatos, because I don't like, that's not music. And so I always, staccato means detached, not short. And I think just giving a little bit more length, it'll help support the sound and the texture as well. And with a little bit more shape, dum 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 dum, ba dum bum bum, rather than dum 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 dum. I think that will still give you all the character that you need. It's also very fast.
It is quite, but I'm very impressed.
And it's got a great energy to it. But I also think it's very, very strict. When I play this, I'm quite free with it, especially with this big piano bit in the middle. And, allow yourself to dum bum bum ba dum dum bum 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 ba dum dum bum 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 ba dum bum ba dum. You can speed up, ebb and flow. Yeah, so you give yourself a little bit more of a chance because it is quite awkward. Do you want to say?
I was just thinking of the character of the piece. This reminds me a little bit of the Miller of Dee. There was a jolly miller once lived on the River Dee. He danced and sang from morn till night, no soul more blithe than he, or whatever it is. And the tagline is, I care for nobody, no, not I, since nobody cares for me. And I think it's very much the same sort of sense. So I wonder whether you can get the irony of this song a bit, I'm all right, I'm perfectly happy, I don't care for anybody since nobody cares for me, thanks very much. It's not what it says on the surface. I've got my wife, I'm perfectly happy. He's not. And I think we need to get that kind of ironic character slightly through gritted teeth. Okay. Ich hab mein Weib allein und teile es mit niemand.
Okay.
Ja.
Ich hab mein Weib allein und teile es dran mit niemand. Nicht anderen will ich sein, zum anderen mach ich niemand. Ein Säckchen Gold ist mein, doch dafür dank ich niemand. Nichts hab ich zu verleihen und borgen soll mir niemand.
Great, that's wonderful. Really good character, and the slightly longer line is really helping. Just to Hahnrei, just be careful of the N in that. That I have this thing about M's and N's.
Yeah.
It's one of my bugbears. Just be careful not to bring them in early. If you go Hahnrei, you don't really hear the note. Nicht Hahnrei will, just sing nicht Hahnrei will.
Nicht Hahnrei will ich sein, zum Hahnrei.
Hahnrei. There's no N at the end of Hahnrei.
Hahnrei.
Hahnrei will.
Hahnrei will.
That's it. And again.
Nicht Hahnrei will ich sein, zum Hahnrei mach ich
Good.
niemand.
Can you, just for me, miss out the N in Hahnrei? So I want you to sing, nicht Haarei will ich sein, zum Haarei mach ich niemand.
Nicht Haarei will ich sein, zum Haarei mach ich niemand.
Well done. And I would say, no N is jolly nearly enough. All right?
Okay.
I'm now getting a line, and I can pretty much understand the word. So none at all is almost enough.
Okay.
Just bear that in mind. So it's not Hanrai, it's Hanrai. Just a tiny flick of the tongue for the N.
Hahnrei.
Do you want to just try once more?
Okay.
Nicht Hanrai.
Nicht Haarei will ich sein, zum Haarei mach ich niemand.
Well done. Excellent.
And then with a little bit more shape going towards the Niemand, towards that accent. And I think you can help that. I think you can play a little bit louder. I think I can just take a little bit more sound from the bass up, yeah, and really shaping the phrases with him as well. Yeah. Try once more. And I really want to hear the F sharp and the F natural. That really needs to come through. Yeah. That's better. And really, I'm just going to watch and see how you're, because there are different ways that you can take notes in different hands in this a little bit, which can help. Just do it once more. Oh, that's better. Yeah, good. Okay, so can we have a little bit more of this left hand? Really kind of think from the left hand up. Yeah, you're not, I don't think, because, yeah, keep the right hand slightly lighter so that you're not in his way, but a little bit more left hand.
Ich hab ein Weib allein und alles Traum mit niemand. Ich
Sorry. Here, I mean, it hardly registered. It's gone in such a flash. It needs a little bit more. Yeah, he doesn't put staccato on there, and it kind of grounds the rhythm a little bit. So yeah, a little bit more length. Just do it once more. Yes, don't. I feel like you rush through it a little bit. Bum 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 ba-dum bum 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 ba-dum.
Ein Weib allein und alles war mit niemand. Nicht ein wenig als zum Herrn mach ich niemand. Ein Säckchen Gold und dafür dank ich niemand. Nichts hab ich so verleihen und borgen soll mir niemand.
Okay. So first of all, hop up 1 minute. First of all, you're in such a hurry here. Give yourself time to, it's your moment. Yeah, and give yourself time to sort of ground yourself. There's different ways you can pace it. Different ways you can pace it, but don't make them the same. So do one maybe quite slow and then faster, and then you can speed up. But kind of more, just play with it, have fun. There's a lot of character that you are representing in the text, in these little piano bits. So really kind of make them your own. Yeah?
Where do you want to go from?
I don't mind.
Ein Säckchen Gold from for a while there. Ein Säckchen Gold ist mein. Do you know where we are?
Third line, second bar.
Ein Säckchen Gold ist mein, doch dafür dank ich niemand. Nichts wird so verleihen und borgen soll mir niemand.
Just go from there again and keep in mind that things aren't too short, too staccato. We've gone very short again. Yeah?
Ein Säckchen Gold ist mein, doch dafür dank ich niemand. Nichts hab ich so verleihen und borgen soll mir niemand. Gekaut bin ich, doch finde ich mit niemand. Schert niemand sich um mich, so scher ich mich um niemand.
Much better is getting there. How does that feel?
Yeah, sorry, I'm just, not feeling it.
Yeah, no, don't worry. I mean, you just need to practice it slowly a few times and really kind of figure out the coordination and things. But allowing yourself a little bit of time will really, really help. Yeah. I don't know what you feel, but I find it quite hard to hear all the text. And I just wonder if it was a hair slower.
I quite like the speed, but I do know what you mean.
Well, it's making it work at that tempo, I think.
I really liked, and I hope you were watching this, what he did when he's not singing. involved in the piece. And I'm really well done for that. The worst thing is just to turn off. You see people singing and then they go, and then they sing again. And you're not doing that at all, and it's great. You're really involving yourself. And then, you know, you could just sort of do a little jig or something. But it's fine. Just be careful with the kind of unsung, the bit that you do, sheer. The second time you do sheer, you're almost shouting the word. And I'm totally with you wanting to kind of characterize the words, but I wonder whether that sounds just a little bit ugly, and we don't quite need it right there. I know, I can see why you're doing it, but I just think you need to be a little bit careful of that. So try singing it once. Let's do the second verse, and right at the end, the last two chords, just be careful that you're not thumping those. Shum, bum, that is tum, tum, got a little bit of elegance still right at the end, yeah? Do you want to just go from the top of the page somewhere into the second verse?
Can I just say as well, I mean, I know it's a very short song, it's over in a flash, but I still think within it you can find a bit of contrast of articulation. And like when you say, ein lustiger Kauz, maybe, like you really give maybe it's less staccato there. Ein lustiger Kauz, so we really get the L, we get the characterization in those words. If it's just all I mean, as I say, it's over in a flash, so it's not like it gets boring, but I just think there's more variety in the way you declaim this text.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Just do it really slowly once. That's not really slowly. That's better.
Ich bin nicht andere Herren und hätte nicht niemand. Doch meine Klinge sticht, ich fürchte mich vor niemand. Ein Nuss geklaut, bin ich offen, geh ich mit niemand. Schert niemand sich mich, so scher ich mich niemand.
Okay, sorry. Can you just do exactly that again and really exaggerate going to these accents each time that he puts dum 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 ba dum bum 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 da dum dum bum bum ba da dum 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 bum ba dum. I'm not hearing it go towards these accents enough for me.
And just fürchte on the top, F, you're putting the very early again. So ich fürchte mich. And if you just sing a little bit more on the vowel, I think it'll let your lovely voice shine through a little bit more. Okay?
Ich bin nicht anderer Herr und hätte nicht niemand. Doch meine Klinge sticht, ich fürchte mich vor niemand. Ein Nuss geklaut, bin ich offen, geh ich mit niemand. Schert niemand sich mich, so scher ich mich niemand.
Great. Shall we hear it zum Schluss? Can we hear that?
They very much wanted to do
Oh,
Nacht und
sorry,
Träume.
Nacht und Träume.
Only that would be.
Yeah, no, whatever you want to do, that's totally fine. It's just that Zum Schluss is one of my favourite poems of all time.
I'm not going to understand.
It's Ruckert, and I just think he's a total genius. Sorry.
Why are you sorry, James?
Well, okay, I'm not sorry.
Well done.
Well done.
Yeah, beautiful. A lot of lovely poise to it, and it was very, you could feel the atmosphere in the room. You really engaged everybody, and that was really beautiful. In terms of the piano part, really sort of good control, but I want more of a layer of sound, a sort of whole. You're doing a lot of voicing, and occasionally, sometimes it was absolutely lovely pointing the bass note into the change of key. But generally, overall, I'm hearing a lot of the top of the treble and not very much of the left hand. And I think, as always, you need to think from the left hand up. And I feel like quite a lot of notes aren't speaking. And I know it's very difficult because it's pianissimo, we need a very gentle colour. You're bravely not using the una corda. Absolutely, it depends on the piano and everything, and the acoustic. But I just wonder if it might enable you to get a more even touch and sound. Because I'm very much hearing dum, 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 dum coming through a little bit. And I want more just a wash of sound. Does that make sense? And I also think you were slightly high on your pitching, and I just wonder if you can hear a little bit more of this. There's layers of harmony. It might just help ground you a little bit more. I don't know what
I couldn't agree more.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Really, really good. Just what affect are you trying to portray with this poem and this piece? What?
I'm just kind of wanting the old dreams to return, in a way.
Yes.
But I kind of had a picture of evening Venice, room, sort of the evening breeze coming through
Yes.
the curtains.
Very good.
And that kind of,
I wonder whether, this is of course totally personal, and there's no right or wrong. I feel there's something really wretched about this poem. That, oh God, it's morning again. I wish I was asleep. I wish I didn't have to face the day. Kehret wieder, holde Nacht, kehret, come back. That sort of yearning for death or for unconsciousness, I think, is not such a happy state of affairs. This is my impression of it, and I wonder whether somehow you can just persuade us of your wretchedness. So, holde Träume, kehret wieder. So you're not happy at being awake and alive. You want to be in the other place.
Okay.
And I wonder if you can just see if you can persuade us of that. Yeah? Good.
One way of practicing this, and sometimes when I've performed this piece and you've got a new piano to get used to, play it louder, just for a couple of bars. Play more MF or something like that. Excuse me. So that you really feel the depths of the key bed, and you really kind of feel what you need to do, how you need to place your hands on the keys, so we hear all the notes, and then gradually take the weight away. Yeah, that can be a really good way to sort of get used to a piano quickly, just to kind of feel how much weight you need and whether it varies, because, octave to octave, sometimes, if things aren't balanced particularly well, and we very, very quickly have to adjust to this. So rather than immediately trying to be, I've got to play this really quietly, just try a little bit louder now, so you feel that. And also, as I was saying before, breathe before you start, and I think that will help that first chord.
It was me that said that.
Yeah. Let you off. Much better. Think your little finger in your left hand. Beautiful. So I'm not hearing the E in that chord at all. Yeah, that's it. We really need to hear those
Poor thing.
harmonies. Sorry. Sorry, that was really horrible of me. But yeah, we need to hear all those notes somehow. It's one of the hardest songs to play, and because every single note needs to be properly balanced and right, and yeah, and so really think about your hand positions and things like that. But that was much better, and actually not too loud. Yeah, so allow yourself, again, don't feel restricted and sort of strangled by seeing that it's got to be really, really quiet.
Well, there's a sort of boring musicological point that possibly a PP marking in the piano simply means to put the moderator on, put the soft pedal on. It doesn't necessarily mean it must be really quiet. It's a shorthand for use the soft pedal.
Can you just try it once more so we don't have too much of an accent at the beginning? Just hear what I always do before I start this. Hear a whole bar in your head, and then kind of breathe as if you're about to sing, but having heard these semiquavers. Well done. Give yourself somewhere to go at the end, so that you've got somewhere to come back from. I think you can kind of grow it a little bit. And at the beginning of the second page, before Die Belauschen, after the change of key, I think you can warm it up a little bit for the sort of shape and arc of the whole piece. I think starting from where we do and where it ends up, I think it can grow a little bit more. And so you allow yourself, so we really do hear those notes. That's something you really need to work on. But it was already getting there. It was already better. Yeah, and you say Die Belauschten, that phrase twice, and I just wonder that the second time they felt very much the same, and I just wonder if the second time it can have something a little bit different. Yeah, but
I must
beautiful.
offer you real congratulations. I think this is a difficult song to sing. It's a difficult song to play too, and you're doing a fabulous job to maintain that wonderful line. It's really, really impressive. Just make sure when you get to the end, when you're running out of breath, and this is something that I personally work on a lot with limited success, just make sure that you're not letting your chest collapse. So that kehret wie eine holde Träume, kehret wieder. So we're keeping the chest up, always thinking of that upwards rather than kehret wieder. This way, you're then just going to run out, all right?
Absolutely.
Just try to maintain that gorgeous, arrogant posture. Yes, my audience is so lucky to have me singing here. Yes, that's it. Great. We run out of time. So thank you so much.
No translations.
Do you want it? Which one do you want us to do first?
Don't worry. Which one do you want to do? Sorry.
Can we do the Wolf, please?
Yes. And it's this one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry. Do you want to just tell everybody what you're going to do?
Yes, so this is Nimmersatte Liebe from the Wolfswirke-Lieder, and it's quite raunchy, actually. It's talking about the intimate part of love.
Wonderful. I don't know this song at all, so neither of us does, interestingly. So thank you very much for bringing it to our attention. Wonderful. There are so many things which I really enjoyed about your performance. You're expressing lots in your face, and I enjoyed, I don't know if any of you were there yesterday, I'm not somebody for standing still, and I just enjoyed the fact that you were using your hands. It's expressive, and it's not too much, I don't feel. Let's go again. There are one or two little German things that I just du tust. Careful, that's not got an umlaut on it. Du tust. And this one, das Mädchen hielt.
Oh, he.
It's not heilt. Hielt in guter Ruhe. Yeah? Great. Let's go back to the beginning.
So can I just ask, at the beginning, what is the character that you're trying to set up?
I think somehow something quite funny.
Yeah? It's cheeky.
Yeah.
It's cheeky, isn't it? It's a little bit, maybe it's a little bit suggestive from what you've said. So again, seeing Sforzando and thinking, oh, I've got to play a really loud chord and then come away. Try not to think of it like that. I mean, maybe you're not thinking of it like that, but think more about what is the character. Is it, there's a cheekiness, yeah, it needs to be bright-eyed and bushy-tailed and a little bit sparky or something, yeah? Don't see Sforzando and think, I've got to, like, play with a big accent, yeah? Think what the intention is behind it, yeah? So maybe it's a little more playful as well, yeah? And I think that might set things up a little bit more. It just felt a little bit heavy, yeah? Good. Yeah, lovely. So much better. What did you feel?
Yes.
Yeah, really like that. And again, I don't. Maybe you make us wait a little bit. Don't feel I don't think that you've got to come in exactly in time.
Yeah.
The other thing, I think the first so is stilig. So I think so is an important one, and that's you're echoing the sforzando from the piano. So is stilig, so is stilig. Thus is love.
Yeah.
Thus, and that's I think what we are wanting. So it's not so is stilig. Do you see what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think with what Anna is suggesting, if you to make a sforzando, you can actually do it less with dynamic and more with time, either being a little bit late or a little bit early. So so is stilig, so is, that's coming in a little bit early, or one bottom. So is stilig is coming in a little bit late, and I think you can play with that to give this accent, but make sure so is the important word. Just once again.
And really think about what line you want to kind of bring through. I think you're voicing here, when the voice comes in, the E flat in the middle, in the sort of tenor register, da 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 da, rather than just kind of thinking they're all sort of equal. Yeah, you can find a lot of character, all these little quirky things that he's put in, and like the G flat you have on nicht. You know, that these little moments come through, so that you really find lots of little moments that kind of colour the text, so that you're really playing every word.
Okay.
Yeah? To stop you. That was absolutely lovely. Just for you, can you do it again and just with a little bit more sound? It just feels a bit reticent, and I think there's more sort of personality that you can get out of this piano part. Yeah, just from where you come in.
So ist die Lieb, so ist die Lieb, mit Küssen nicht so still. Steht und will ein Sieb mit heitem Wasser füllen und schützt du an die 1000 Jahr und küsst sie
Tust, sorry. Du tust, same vowel as. Really good, well done, it's beautiful singing. Just go a little bit, unschöpft.
And really think through a 4-bar phrase through here. Dom, 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 1000 Jahr, and you really kind of feel the line going through there. because we've had a lot of broken up phrases, so when you can find more of a 4-bar phrase, that's nice.
Und schöpf so an die 1000 Jahr und Käse sie ewig da, tut es in zur Welt.
And there, sorry, it's absolutely lovely, and I like the sense of that phrasing, but I think you can allow yourself time for that breath. Don't ever apologise for breathing, and there's a sudden piano there. Da-da-dum. I think you can just take that little moment so it's less 4 square. I think with the nature of this poem and everything that you're talking about, I think you can find a little bit more freedom in it, yeah, to really exploit the character.
Same place?
Yeah.
Und schöpfst.
Und schöpf so an die 1000 Jahr und Käse sie ewig da, tut es in zur Welt. Die Lieb hat alle Stund neu wunderlich gelesen,
Lovely. Can I just say on Gelisten, that B natural, make sure that B natural is high enough.
Okay.
And also you sang, I think, a G flat on Da wir.
Oh.
Da wir uns heute. Yeah, sounded like I think you sang it.
Yep, I think
Yeah.
all right.
Yeah. Dum, da, 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 ya, da, da. Really enjoy that moment. Yeah, that was the best one that you've done, but I still think you can squeeze a little bit more out of that little moment. Can you just go from there? So top of that page before die Lieb.
Die Lieb hat alle Stund neu wunderlich gelesen, wir wissen uns in Bund, da wir uns heute küssen, das Mädchen
Okay, yeah.
Healed.
Oh,
And it's küsten. So past tense. Küsten. Yeah. Great.
And there again, you've got a little bit of, there's a little bit of more time. I think the rubato, I think you can just give yourselves permission to allow yourself more ebb and flow, because
And
I think it will help the storytelling
I'm
and
really
the character.
with you. And I wonder whether we can help bring that out. Da wir uns heute küssten. So you can actually onomatopoeize, act. Küssen is about kissing, yes? Da wir uns heute küssen. So that you really get that sense of what's going on. And it takes time, just like Anna is saying. And you're doing it, I'm just wanting you to do more.
Try
Good,
to,
where should we go from?
Detach yourself from it if you feel awkward, be really, who are you singing this song?
oh, yeah.
Yeah, ask yourself that question. Who are you? What's the situation? What's the sort of backstory to this kind of little relationship or long-term relationship or whatever it is, and be really, really clear who you are singing this song, and then you can detach yourself from it a little bit and get more involved in the acting.
Yeah.
Should we go from wir bissen?
Yeah.
Wir bissen. I just feel through this long phrase, again, you've got a long phrase with a gradual crescendo. I wonder if it can start from something maybe a little bit poco meno, and then just kind of, you can feel the sense of it moving forward maybe as it gets more
From Das Mädchen.
Yes.
From Das Mädchen.
Yes,
So-
and really feel the length of with these syncops and da 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 da. Really kind of hold on to them as much as you can, so we feel this sort of bit of a struggle musically, and I think that'll again give a good sense. Can we go from there again?
Yeah, so I think, just to pick up on that, from Das Mädchen needs gradually to speed up all the way until the top note.
Okay.
So it's not suddenly faster and then gets a bit slower. It just Das Mädchen hielt in guter Ruhe, bis dem na dam dam da da dam da dam 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 da da dam dam ja da dam. So there's a real. I'm exaggerating, but that's where you're always going for.
Yeah.
Yeah. Why don't we just go from Küsten was brilliant.
Yeah, it was lovely.
Really good, and it's not too much.
Okay.
Absolutely not too much. Just go from Das Mädchen.
Das Mädchen hielt in guter Ruhe, im Neuen und im Messe, in Obermut verhimmelte, desto besser.
That was great, loved it. I just wonder if you
Absolutely
could
wonderful.
hold that top A flat a little bit longer. And when we finally
There.
arrived at, yeah. Because there's a writ in that bar, and I just think when you've really, yeah.
It's a
'cause
very
it
good
was
note
just-
too, isn't it?
Yeah, it
You know, we
sounds
want to hear that.
yeah, because your ensemble in that bar isn't quite right yet, and I think if you can just
Yeah.
hold on to a little bit, because he's only just played his note and you're coming off it, so you just need to.
And I
just
think
need
you
to-
can be a bit naughtier on the best, wer desto besser.
Yeah.
You know, worse is better, baby. Yeah? Yeah,
Yeah,
good.
don't rush, Destor, yeah.
Das Mädchen?
It's
Not-
within that writ.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, but I like the length of those.
Really good
Those-
pushing
yeah,
forward. I
really.
really felt that. That was
Yeah.
lovely. Das Mädchen. Well, just once more, and we'll let you go to the end this time.
Das Mädchen hielt in guter Ruhe, im Neuen und im Messe, in Obermut verhimmelte, desto besser. So ist die Lieb und war auch so, wie lange sie mal gibt. Und anders wurde im Salomo der Weise nicht verliebt. Und anders wurde im Salomo der Weise nicht verliebt.
Yeah, really, really nice. I wonder if you can take more time on und anders war. Really use those accents. So it's kind of got it's more from the previous time, and then really take your time to come right down from der Weise, your last phrase, and then dum dum. And again, don't feel that you've got to be too metronomic about this little postlude. Again, make it kind of cheeky and vary the speed a little bit more. Can we go once more?
Sure, and then
We've
we
got
can
time.
have another song.
I love the time that you took before coming in on So ist die Lieb. That was,
was
not too
beautiful.
much
That
at
wasn't
all.
too much.
Because we were all just, no. We were all just kind of waiting. That was perfect. Yeah, loved it.
Really, really good.
Loved
Just
it.
the words anders, the S at the end of anders needs to be heard. You are doing it, but I just could, so anders war Herr Solomon or whatever it is, der Weise nicht verliebt. In other words, it was no different for Solomon the Wise, anders. It needs that S at the end. Good. So ist die Lieb. Should we just go from
A
your
little bit, yeah. And if
recapitulation?
you can really try and get that E flat out. I don't really hear the E flat. Da, da, dum, da, dum, dum. Yeah?
So ist die Liebe und war auch so, wie lange sie begebt. Und an dies wurde er Salomo die Weise nicht verliebt. Und an dies wurde er Salomo der Weise nicht verliebt.
Nice.
Well done.
Nice.
Would you like to do another song?
Got like
We've
2
got-
minutes.
Oh, have we? I
Yeah.
thought we had...
We've got 2
I'm
minutes.
sorry, I thought we had another quarter of an hour. It's my fault. Sorry. Let's...
Yeah, why don't you, I mean, just, do, would you like to do the...
Liebstum Schönheit,
Yeah,
could you
we
do that?
may not
Or
have
just-
very much time on it, but...
That's
do,
fine.
Yeah, do it, yeah. Do you want to introduce it?
Oh, this is Liebstum Schönheit from Mahler's Rückertlieder, and it's a really beautiful poem where the poet is saying to their lover, if you love for beauty, don't love me. If you love for youth, don't love me, love the spring. If you love for riches, don't love me, love the mermaid, she's got loads of pearls. But if you love for love, then I will love you forever.
Beautiful. Very good introduction.
Liebstum Schönheit und nicht mit Liebe, Liebe die Sonne, sie trägt ein goldenes Haar. Liebstum Jugend und nicht mit Liebe, Liebe den Freunden, der jung ist jedes Jahr. Liebstum Schätze und nicht mit Liebe, Liebe die Frau, sie hat viel Elend klar. Liebstum Liebe, oh ja, mich
Well done.
Do you want us to say a couple of things?
Go on. Just be careful. Or nicht mich liebe.
Nicht.
Nicht mich.
Sounds like,
So the mich, you're putting a T at the end of it at the moment.
Am I?
Yeah, or it sounds like it. Nicht mich liebe. Just say that.
Nicht mich liebe.
Perfect. Liebstum Schönheit und ich mich liebe. So I think it could be a little bit more semplice at the beginning, I feel. And then once you get to Liebstum Liebe for the last one, then it can tell a bit more. So if you love because of this, beauty, youth, riches, waste of time. but if you love for love's sake, you introduced it so beautifully, and I think the first things, you can allow yourself just to throw them away. Liebst du Schönheit? Nicht mich, Liebe. You know, don't love me if it's for beauty. Go and love something else. The sun, that's very pretty. You know? Whereas, and then the power of Liebst du Liebe, then I think will come forward. Yeah, good.
I thought you really, you both sort of captured the inich of this well, really, really well. Just be careful you don't cut beats. You're cutting a few beats, which is such a shame. After the Liebe, both of you there, you sort of came in a little bit early, and I think it really, really needs its time. And then the accents on Liebe, mich, immer. But yeah, after that beautiful pianissimo, don't be in a hurry there. But each time you had here, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm not saying be metronomic, but you're actually cutting the dotykochit there and there. Yeah, and you did it here, which is a real shame because I think it needs that kind of, space and time.
I would love to work at this, but we haven't time.
Yeah, we haven't got time. So just be careful about those little moments. Okay. If anything, I'd take more time than cutting time. And it's difficult with this because there's not a huge amount of notes, so you need to get as much support as you can, harmony coming through. So again, it's that building up from your little finger of your left hand as much as you can to give a sense of just a bigger texture to the sound, because I think the voice needs it. Even within a small dynamic, it just needs a slightly fatter sound.
So I think we'd better stop, hadn't we?
Yeah.
Let's have a little break now and reconvene at past, if that's okay. Thanks. Well done. Really well done.
25.
Welcome back, one and all. I think we should make a start again. So if you'd, like to tell us what you're going to do, that would be lovely.
Yeah.
Perfect. I was just thinking, I gather you've performed the Nussen.
Yes.
And maybe if we've got 2 minutes at the end of your session just to sing it through.
We would love to.
I think that would be fantastic.
What's this?
The Ollie Nussen piece as well.
So we'd like to sing for you The Seal Man by Rebecca Clark. And it's sets a bit of a short story by John Masefield. And John Masefield was really interested in the sea and all the stories of the sea. And this particular short story focuses on the folklore of the Selkie. And people in the Orkney Islands believe that the very large seals around could take off their seal coats and come to shore as people. And they would then have relationships with the human on land, and their offspring would have features of both. They'd look like people, but they'd maybe have webbed hands and feet, and they could swim indefinitely and live in the sea and breathe underwater. And this particular extract features one of these children as he falls in love with one of the girls from the village and begs her to run away with him over the sea. And he came by her cabin to the west of the road. There was a strong love came up in her at that, and she put down her sewing on the table, and mother, she says, there's no lock and no key and no bolt and no door. There's no iron nor no stone, nor anything at all will keep me this night from the man I love. says to her, "You are all of the beauty of the world. Will you come where I go over the waves of the sea?" And she says to him, "My treasure and my strength," she says, "I would follow you on the frozen hills, my feet bleeding." Then they went down into the sea together, and the moon made it dark on the sea, and they walked down it. It was like a flame before them. There was no fear at all on earth, only the great love, like the love of the old ones, that was stronger than the touch of the fool. She had a little white throat and little cheeks like flowers, and she went on into the sea with her man. Who wasn't a man at all. She was drowned, of course. It's like he never thought that she wouldn't bear the sea like himself. She was drowned.
Absolutely wonderful performance from both of you. Beautifully introduced and fantastic piano playing, really full of colour and with an amazing connection to the voice. So well done, both of you. Really wonderful. And I loved hearing this piece. And it's just such an exciting piece. I think you're doing a wonderful job. I love the gestures and I love the smiles and all of that. Just, I wonder whether you could even characterise the different people a little bit more, so that we know when you're being the narrator, which is most of the time, when you're being the man or the selkie or whatever, and when you're being the woman. So they're really quite sort of distinct. So, and he says to her, "You are all of the..." You can even engage a slightly different vocal colour. And then when, and she says to him, "My treasure and my life," she says. You can again engage a new vocal colour. You're doing it anyway. I just want to really, and you can also use your body to do that. So literally, he could be one side and she could be the other. And that sort of thing can be quite helpful. So, and he says to her, "You are all of the beauty of the world. Will you come where I go?" And she says to him, my treasure and my life, she says. Just that little 5 degrees gives the audience to understand that it's a different person speaking. So I think that would be quite good. Right at the beginning, just when you're on that middle C at the beginning, and he came by her cabin to the west of the road, calling. I think it can be like that. Just say that first line. And he came by her cabin to the west of the road, calling.
And he came by her cabin to the west of the road, calling.
Good. Now make calling as she's written it. And he came by her cabin to the west of the road, calling. Just see if you can just speak it. And he came?
And he came by her cabin to the west of the road, calling.
Yes. Now, and is that a C? What's a C? Yeah. Just see, and with that same sense of recitative, you're just telling a story.
And he came by her cabin to the west of the road, calling.
Now this ta-dum is a very important motif in the piece. So we need to sort of signal it. This is the motif. And he came by the cabin to the west of the road, calling. So really set it up with your face, with your body, and with time. I loved the recitative at the beginning. It was really good. Can you just play maybe the end of your doodly-doodly-doo, which was amazing? No, you're not. Of course.
No, just because it's a sort of similar thing to what you've said, but in a slightly different way. That I mean, I loved it. It was a lovely, lovely performance. I think there are some moments where you can play up a little bit more.
Okay,
I mean, there is, you know, a lot of the times the balance was great, but I think there are times where there's a little bit more that you can give. But we can talk about that. But no, the main thing I wanted to say was. A bit like the sort of characterising it more. I think, you know, even sort of here, I wanted more, and it's always thinking about, you know, reaching the person in the corner of the back row. And I think you need to exaggerate your gestures and continuing on with that idea. What I felt a little bit was you knew exactly what was about to happen. Mm-hmm. And I just wonder if there's a way, it's that kind of, that this is happening now. And you're witnessing this now, and that we almost see surprise and shock and things in your face a little bit more. Mm-hmm. It's like you knew what you were going to say every time. Mm-hmm. And that it's that maintaining that spontaneity in performance, that you're doing it for the very first time. Mm-hmm. It's like you're reading this story for the first time and you're reacting, and we see you reacting. And similar, you know, you with what you're doing with the kind of the sudden spread chords and things and these gestures, that they're kind of really visceral and happening now. We're experiencing this now, and it's maintaining that every single time you do the piece. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm, yeah. So, I mean, yes, all the preparation, of course, is vitally important and being very organised, but then I almost want you to sort of cast that off. And that's why kind of having, for both of you, having a very clear image in your mind, what you're seeing as it's happening. So you're not just kind of reciting the text, singing the text, playing it, you're actually seeing it, and so that you sort of almost kind of paint those pictures for us. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
It's a difficult thing, you know, you practice, you learn stuff so you know it really, really well, but then we need that sense of you're doing this for the first time. Mm-hmm. So yeah, it's the reaction. Mm-hmm. Good. Yeah, start. Yeah.
Really,
I mean,
good start.
Yeah,
do you
really,
mind
really
just, we're short of time, so
again,
let's...
that whole breath thing and just kind of that first note, if it could really come from nothing.
Should I be presenting that first note as a kind of important thing, or is it really supposed to be just...
A personal choice. For me, it would be like it sort of needs to emerge from nowhere.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah, so it's like you suddenly become aware, and that's a very hard thing to achieve on the piano because you're pushing your key down. But it's almost like we suddenly become aware of this note being there. So, I mean, for me, it would be absolutely as quiet as possible.
Yeah.
And the whole breathing thing will help, rather than having your hand there ready on the note. Just, yeah. try to resist any urge to crescendo.
Yeah,
I think it's
that's fine.
really, really, I know it's hard because there's a lot of notes, and as it goes up in tessitura, it's going to sound louder anyway, which is why you need to try to hold on to it. And the sort of gradual acceleramento, and then when you get to the third line, it's only poco a tempo. Dum, 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 dum. I mean, again, I would be thinking, what are those notes sort of signifying? Yeah, have some kind of reason for playing them. But yeah, if you can try and keep it so that you literally draw us into this world more. Don't make it easy for us to listen to.
And he came by her cabin to the west of the road, calling. There was a strong love came up in her at that, and she put down her sewing on the table, and mother, she says, there's no lock and no key and no bolt and no door. There's no iron nor no stone nor anything at all. Will keep me this night from the man I love.
Sorry to stop you.
Absolutely
and so
wonderful.
good. I got totally got goosebumps on your calling. Totally got goosebumps. That was absolutely great. I just there's no lock and no key, and I just wondered that left hand again, as I keep saying. Think from the left hand upwards, and there's just a little bit more attack, a little bit more personality to those chords. Again, they're not easy. They need to have kind of more character to them. And mother, I think you could just take dum 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 yum a little bit more there. It's just, as I said earlier, exaggerating your gestures a little bit more.
I think, may I pick up on that? Just from the word mother, she's talking, the girl.
Yeah.
And I think you just need to sort of give us the quote marks a bit. And she put her sewing on the table, and mother, she said, there's no lock. So, and mother, it just needs that little bit of time, I think. It's exactly what you're saying.
Yeah.
And it'd be really helpful. Just the other thing, there was a strong love. It's after that, there was a strong. How are you going to manage that? And I think you need to coordinate sort of breathing. There was a strong, so you can almost direct him in the downbeat there. Does that make sense? Should we just go from there was a strong love?
You're kind of doing the C as part of the spread. I wonder if it's dom yum a little bit more.
How do you do that? Is it you do it twice, or is it?
Yeah, I don't replay the C.
No, that's not why I'm doing it. In there.
Yeah. So dom, So
just more time on the C. Is that what?
Yeah, just so so that we hear that little upbeat.
And I
think then, because that'll give you something to play off.
Yeah, is the top note needs to be a real feel of the downbeat. So that, and if you'd almost direct it by yum, you can
it's like a springboard for you then.
Should we just go from there? There was a strong.
Yeah, no, I think do yum. Yeah, and again, use your breath. Do yum.
There was a strong love came up in her at that, and she put down her sewing on the table.
Tiny little thing. Sorry.
Excellent.
Sorry. Yeah, that's sforzando, and she put down her. I'm a big triplet fan.
She goes on about
whenever I see triplets, I want you to feel the stretch of those triplets a little bit more. Again, so it's not too easy. And she put down her sewing, rather than and she put down her sewing. Does that make sense? Yeah. And I think, and if you really use that attack in that sforzando, and then you've got a little bit longer before you come in.
Excellent timing of There Was a Strong Love. That was just brilliant. Once again.
There was a strong love
sorry. Yeah, it's good, but and you've got that triplet there, dum dum, and you've got a quaver, dum dum, and ma, and I think if you feel that 3 against 2, actually, it will really help the placing of mother for you. And she put down her sewing just according to
Just
that.
a tiny thing. Mother, she said, there's nothing's going to keep me. You look a tiny bit cross, and I think you could just be more overwhelmed with the love that you have for this man, this creature.
Sorry.
Where are we?
And she put
down her sewing.
And she put down her sewing on the table, and mother, she says, there's no lock and no key and no bolts and no door. There's no iron nor no stone nor anything at all will keep me this night from the man I love. And she went out into the moonlight to
Sorry to stop you. It's a tiny thing. I thought that was beautiful, and I love the pacing and the time that you took. Can that be more magical? Yeah. Just when
Just
you
the F
came in,
major.
just
No, the F
the
major.
bar before.
Oh, sorry, yes.
Just more sort of, I don't know, translucent, picturing a moonlit sky, the moon shining on the sea, something like that. It just needs to be more
Yes.
glassy, more.
Can I ask
Yeah.
what you do with your, on love? It's kind of hard to lose the sound. Where exactly do I?
Where are you? Oh, there.
What exactly do I do to clear all that resonance? Because sometimes it sounds awful, and sometimes I have to clear it too late because I haven't got control over
What?
it.
The sound isn't clear when you take the pedal off, you mean?
I think so. It's just, do you clear it completely straight on love?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, it doesn't want to be abrupt.
Yeah.
It's one of those things that you have to feel in every different place you perform, because if you're in somewhere very, very boomy, it won't dissipate.
Yeah.
Yeah, it didn't bother me what you were doing at all. So just do it once more and I'll listen out. But
Where do you want to
just,
go? You decide.
Just do Will Keep Me.
Will keep.
keep me this night from the man I love. And she went out into the moonlight to hear. There by the bush.
Sorry to stop. Yeah, I still think you find something softer. I don't know, something. It just feels a bit. Yeah, just really. Yeah, it's like Claire de Lune or something. And just on that next bar, she puts espressivo on the left hand.
Yeah, I know.
And it's that motive again. And I'm hardly hearing the F.
Yeah.
And I just wonder if, just try and as an experiment, bringing out the left hand more than the right, because we're going to hear the right anyway,
Right.
because of where it is.
Sure.
So da-dum, da-dum, bring that out a little bit more. Da-dum, da, and really use the slur, so coming away from it. Yeah. Nice. Yeah.
And she went. And she went.
And she went out into the moonlight to hear. There by the bush where the flowers lay spreading, beyond the river. And he says to her, "You are all of the beauty of the world. Will you come when I go over the waves of the sea?" And he says to him, "My treasure and my strength," she says, "I would follow you on the frozen hills, my feet bleed
we just do that bit again from Auntie says to her? Yeah, you're all of beauty of the world. Will you come where I go over the waves of the sea? It's like one sentence, and then the reaction, then the response. I just felt like, I mean, you're observing how she's written it, but I think you could do that maybe a little bit less. Will you come where I go over the waves of the sea? You're putting a little gap in there, and it just, I don't know, I was just looking at it.
Walk through that.
Yeah. You can just do it.
I really enjoyed the characterisation of the people. It seems to
Yeah,
work to me.
yes, it really, really does. It just reads really, really clearly. Yeah. Just do, and Auntie says to her, da.
Auntie says to her, you are all of the beauty of the world. Will you come where I go over the waves of the sea? And she says to him...
And I think you can wait a little bit longer. Let us, as the listener, absorb that. I really like that going through for me. It's just one sentence. To the waves of the sea. And she says, have the thought. Yeah. Just, I think you can exploit these gaps a little bit longer. As I say, there's a lot of text for us to take on board. It's like we need to really respond and react to it as well. Yeah. So always thinking about how things reach your listener is really, really important. But these are all just little things. It's great.
I'm afraid we've run out of time.
We have run out of time.
I'm really sorry.
It's very hard to get through this piece in an hour, really. So
what a wonderful performance. Thank you both very much. And do say what you're going to perform and so on. That's really kind. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Vicky. This is Young Show. We're going to sing Héritier descendu au bas de la Préville by Lily Boulanger.
That's very diplomatic, James. Beautiful, well done. Immediate responses, it just feels a bit rushed. And I don't know whether, why are you laughing?
I feel like if it's like my support is not enough.
Ah. But it's also the kind of the space that you can create, I think. It just feels like you're in a bit of a hurry. And I just think you can allow a little, you know, there are moments that you're not capturing as much as you can because you're sort of rushing through them. For instance, on the second page, that amazing subito piano, that wonderful chord, there's a lot to deal with there. There's a lot of notes to get through and grace notes and new colours to find and things like that. The build that we've had in the crescendo in that bar before, then we need a little bit of time for the sound to dissipate for that subito piano. And it all happened so fast that it just felt like a little bit of a muddle, you know, rather than being really, really clear. I think it'd also then be easier for you to come in. And yeah, just at the end, I thought you could have just allowed yourself a little bit more time.
It's very hard to sing the last phrase.
Yeah, no, I meant more like the last couple of bars.
Oh.
I meant the the last couple of bars. And also these wonderful harmonic shifts that we have, particularly in the first page. I think you can play up a little bit. It's amazingly well written in that you're very rarely in the same tessitura as the voice. It's kind of, there are a few moments, but it is, you know, especially with soprano as opposed to tenor, I think you don't need to worry so much about balance. And I just want a little bit more squeezing out all these lovely suspensions that you've got and resolutions and kind of feeling those da-dum, 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 still with a sense of line through them. It's easy for this to sound in the piano very, vertical. So we need that sense of line. But yeah, and just when you sink onto the second bar, it's such a sort of beautiful chord after the E major and then onto that D7. I just think you can enjoy it a little bit more. Yeah? There's no balance issues at all. I could actually take more of you. Yeah? The last bar of the first page, that wonderful chord. Again, thinking very much, I know I keep saying this afternoon, but from the bass up. I feel we're so right-hand focused and driven, and as pianists, and especially accompanying song, we need that support from the little finger up, yeah? Not the right hand being, you know, because so often the right hand is in the tessiture of the voice, yeah? So just allow your left hand to have a little bit more personality and influence in the sound, yeah?
Wonderful. My only thought, absolutely beautiful performance, and my word, what glorious singing, really great. Just notice that the loudest dynamic is probably piano, I think. And P, there's nothing written bigger than that. I don't want to squeeze you into a little box, but I think this is meant to go, I don't know if you were there last night, but I think it's meant to be a memory from a long time ago. Do you remember that time when the girl was just coming down there? And you're just sort of talking to yourself almost. It's and I wonder if you can just experiment with the beautiful sounds you make when it's really, really small, when it's almost hardly singing. Just see if you can, and I think that will equal up the balance issue that we're having as well. And let's go again. But I'm almost struggling to hear you. Yeah? Yeah, I don't know what other people feel, but I just think there's a little bit more. Yeah, just a little bit more. I agree.
And just that bar that we've just got to here. Really try and make that top line as legato as you can. I mean, I don't know what fingering you're doing, but and you're doing 3, and then you can then change on the B from 5 to 4, so you can make that top line really, really, really legato, da, da, dum. And then I hold the B as you do the spread, so you get the connection of the B to the C sharp. Yeah. I just, for me, I want to hear the continuation of that line. But yeah, really, really, just play that bar for me. Yeah. Yeah, beautiful. And now just give yourself a little bit more time here. And there's this tenuto here, dum, dum, yum, and she's put tenuto on there as well. Yeah, which is all saying to me there's a little bit of time here. Nice, beautiful. That was lovely. Really, really nice. Yeah. Okay, sorry.
May I just ask, is there a native French speaker here? Yes. Ces plantes inondées, inondées. Inondées. You're right, I'm wrong. Thank you. I got it wrong yesterday. Thank you. Where do you want to go from? What about ces plantes?
Mm-hmm. Gorgeous. Can just try a little more crescendo through that as well. Just really enjoy that moment. I think that's what she wants. And then you've given yourself further to come back to for the subito piano. The moment, because you're not really crescendoing very much, it's hard to make that moment as special as I think it could be. Do you want to do the same place?
Can I just say, it's beautiful what you're doing, and I love the fact that you're just keeping things under control a bit. It's wonderful. Mm-hmm. Ces plantes, ces plantes. Just notice that she writes a row. Je les avais cueillis. So you can really
with
take a bit of time.
On the,
yeah.
On the cue. Beautiful, and I love the way you go up through that phrase. But again, there's a writ on those that last beat on Cette Prairie. Yeah, and there's the tenuto on Seta. I mean, I know it's just looking at all these little moments of detail, but I think it's important to look at them and absorb them, and then kind of make them part of your line. We don't want to get bogged down in the minutiae, but just seeing the detail that she's put in the score, I think, is really, really important to observe. Yeah. And I think, again, it's a gorgeous, gorgeous moment, and there's a lot of text coming through in that last, in that whole bar. So maybe just allow yourself a little bit more time for it. And then being aware after your prairie, before you go on to la, that she's got a grace note and that chord to place. It doesn't want to feel like it's falling forward or in a hurry, I don't think. Yeah. And so it's just being aware of those little moments. Can we go again from here?
Bientôt.
Bientôt. Yeah, and the other thing here is, I don't know what you think, but the grace note with the C sharp in the bass, that to me should be within the subito piano. And again, that's why I take a little bit more time to enable that. Otherwise, you've just got too much sound. Da, dum, da. You need sort of time to sort of change the weight in your left hand so that C sharp. Otherwise, we get that really loud and then the chord really quiet. and that's not such the best balance for that chord. It's tricky. There's a lot going on in that bar. Just play that bar on your own, and then if you come in. Beautiful, really, really beautiful. Just here, I don't know what you feel, but I feel very much that the tune is da 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 da, not da, sorry, da 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 da. So if you can make those two notes really, really light, really point, really ping out that da 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 da. So da. I hardly play those. They're there, but really, really tiny. And then, yeah, do you see what I mean? So our ear, I want my ear to be drawn to da 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 dum. So really, what I would do with something like this, I try and really tilt my hand over to the right. So I'm kind of trying to put a little bit more energy into the top. So you get that E flat out. That's it. That was lovely. And then more for this one. Yeah, gorgeous. Gorgeous. Do you see what I mean? Yeah. Sorry.
Say it again.
It's a piano piece, really, with a not a little bit of singing on the top.
It's magical what you're doing. I mean, it really is. It's really wonderful performance. I really do think so. Just as a tiny hint that you're a little bit above the note. Elle avait le regard qu'ont les fleurs de lavande. Yeah. It's just a little bit too high. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And I wonder if you can just feel yourself sinking into the... Would you mind just doing the last Elle avait le regard from there? Give the beginning of that bar or something. So, le regard, even that le is just a tiny bit too high. Yeah, okay. It's not much. And she writes, avec mélancolie. And I think if you just allow yourself... Then I think you'll sink down into the pitch a bit better. Okay. It's lovely. Beautiful. Beautiful. Really very classy. It's excellent.
Yeah, again, little bits of detail. Dom, 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 dom. That needs to come through a little bit more. I don't change the pedal through that bar. I don't think you need to, so that this sustains all the way through. And then dom, dom, Yeah, these little, slightly detached. And just think about the energy with which you play those spreads. She's singing in such a beautiful, sort of gentle, sort of melancholic way, and I just wonder if those spreads are a little bit too, they're a little bit too active. It's like sinking into a cushion the way you play them. Yeah, a little bit more than, rather than having too much energy.
Yes.
I think that will match what you're doing, floating that gorgeous line. Should we do it once more?
Elle riait. Is that what you want to do? Or
Oh,
just the
you
end? No,
you
yeah.
could do, yeah.
Because you wanted to...
Well, what did you say?
Dégingendé she's again written these, just these lines. Dégingendé. It's an extraordinary word. Gangly, I think, might be a good English translation of it. The gangly grace that girls who are too big have. It's an extraordinary picture, isn't it? Why not go from Elle riait?
It is. I mean, it seems like it was very sort of pedantic, all this detail. But I just think, she's taken the time to write all these little things in terms of articulation, in terms of subtle changes of dynamic, the phrasing, everything. And I think it's our duty to really kind of notice them all and observe them. It's a bit like with Britain. Britain puts so much detail in all his scores, and if you really observe it all and do it all, it works.
Oh, we're well over time. No, we're not.
No, we're not.
Oh, sorry.
It's fine. And I just think it's important to recognise all that she's put in, and it really makes sense. Yeah, do you want to do that? Do those lovely bars with the da 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 da. That was really, really, really beautiful. And all those little things, I really heard them. I thought that was fantastic. All those little things. And the energy, did you feel the difference in the way that you played those spread chords? I'm sure everybody heard it. It does really lovely. Really nice. Well done.
Should we do the other one?
Yes.
Parfois,
We've got
je suis
3
triste.
minutes, so-
Non? Have we?
Yeah, we've got 3 minutes, so you can perform it to us.
Take 5.
Take 5.
Thank
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Really, really lovely to have you both performing. And thank you. I think we need to move on to the next one.
Well done. Beautiful, beautiful.
Really great.
Really fantastic.
Thank you so much. That's great. Oh, 2. We're spoiled. Let's check. Oh, I have heard this one.
Oh, yeah.
Hi, I'm Anusha and this is Chimay. We'll be singing Our Love for Today by Amy Beach. This is about a woman who notices a lot of change in her surroundings, which makes her very anxious because she suspects her husband is losing interest in their marriage, but she hopes that's not the case.
What
Yeah, well done, beautiful. Such a gorgeous song. This might sound like a slightly strange thing to say, because I love the poise that you had, but I almost felt like it was a little bit too in control, given how you're feeling. And I just wonder if you can. Yes, it was so poised and so still, and there's something wonderful about that. And this is a personal taste thing, but I just felt you seemed a bit too calm, given what you're telling us. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And I just wonder if you can be. Your singing is incredibly expressive, but I just wonder if there's kind of more. Does that make sense?
I get what you mean. I think you can actually physically move a little bit more.
Okay.
You're expressing a lot in your face, which is wonderful, and in your voice, which is wonderful too. I think you can actually just don't feel your feet are nailed to the floor.
Okay.
Just to allow some freedom of movement to be, bowled over by the thought that things may be going.
And it's a bit like what I was saying earlier to Laura about with the Sealman, that this is happening to you now for the first time. It's like this, it's kind of that feeling that you don't know what you're going to say next. It's this coming out of you, this emotion is coming out of you as you realise these things, you're having these feelings now.
Yeah.
And that, I think that can come across to us more. So that, so it's like, asking yourself, who am I singing this song? What's the situation? What time of day is it? Is this like 2 a.m, you can't sleep because you know that something's not right and you're desperate? Or what's the situation? And if you have that in your head, I think that will really help.
My only feeling that maybe the two passages with accelerandi, I suppose, I think you could just pace them a little bit better so that they don't immediately go faster, but there's that sense that something is going to happen and then it does, and then so that you can just pace them a little bit better. And the one I'm a little bit feeling your right pedal is just obscuring some of the lovely things you're doing. So just make sure when you bring the pedal up, that it's actually damping all the strings and that it's not left dangling on. And that particularly is in those yum bum 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 passages. If you've got the sustaining pedal down, we lose that impetus of the rhythm. And I think that's a shame. So, good. Why don't we do it again? And we might stop you this time.
I think there are some of the transition moments between the sections you can allow a little bit more space for as well, and especially at the end, it just, she puts morendo, doesn't she, and dolcissimo and molto rit, and it just felt like it sort of happened a bit fast. I think you can find a little bit more in these moments. And some of the harmonic shifts that you have and placings of chords, just I could just take a little bit more of them. I want to really, really be aware of them and hear them. And they were a little bit reticent. Yeah, so you really inject your personality into the emotion of the song. Yeah? Don't hold back. Because it's very emotive, it's very expressive.
Romantic music.
Yeah.
Once again, from the top.
Soon, but yeah, what James was saying about the pedal, even in that second bar, you can do all that with finger legato. You don't really need the pedal. I mean, yeah, you can use it, but you need to make sure it clears so that we hear this chromatic line down and it doesn't get a little bit stuck. Just try it once more. And really breathe before you play this first chord. Can you try without your hands on the keys and just so that that's beautiful. Yeah, the difference for me is huge there. sorry to stop you. So what's the difference between those two phrases?
The first one, she's just sort of saying it because she's seeing what's happening around
She's
her.
sort of
And the second
commenting
one is
on it, yeah.
and the second one is the one that's sort of affecting her.
Yeah.
So,
And you know, the first one is piano. It's almost like narrator-like, almost like as an external observer, and then it becomes really, really personal. I think you can exploit that more.
Okay.
And I think you can really help give more in that second phrase as well with those gorgeous harmonies that you have. Yeah? Can we do it once more? Just be careful that you play, I think it was the bottom line, second bar, the E flat in the left hand and the D natural in the right hand. Something was funny there. Or was it, and also in the beat before, the B natural and the A flat. Something sounded a little bit funny. Sorry. Something I found a little bit funny there. And the crescendo through here. As she goes, you help launch her into that second phrase. Yeah? So really, really grow through that bar.
Just to pick up on what we were talking about before, if you can maybe think of yourself, I love but today and the world has changed. Just step forward, half a step, as you sing that phrase, that I love but today, just see if your physical movement forward can bring a new impetus to that phrase. And just love ba da 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 da. That's a very expressive interval. I love ba da da and the world. Really join that line together so you're feeling both ends of that interval. But just see if just stepping forward for the second our love gives a new impetus to it. Once again from
one other tiny thing, sorry, this is very, very pedantic, but just as much finger legato as you can through these phrases. So, so you join that E flat to the C. If you just change finger, you've got time, so that you join those lines. I know she hasn't written slur marks over here, but I think, you know, it's like a little duet. This, your top of your right hand and the vocal line. And I think, it needs to kind of come through a little bit more.
It's great. Once more from the top, do you mind? And we will, I promise, we will let you get on to the next bit, all right? Won't we?
Yes. That was lovely. That was absolutely gorgeous when you went up to that C, wasn't it? Yeah. It was amazing. But here, change of texture. Enjoy that left hand. You don't need pedal.
You need suddenly to feel, and try using less pedal.
You don't need any
in
pedal.
this bit.
Don't need any pedal.
Just top of the second page. Changed. It's just.
Yeah.
Get your foot off that pedal. You don't need it. Take it away.
Sorry.
But a little bit more. playing very, very quietly. Look, she puts crescendo at agitato. You need to give a lot of this energy to help support the text and what's being said. Dom bom, dom bom bom, dom bom bom. Yeah, a little bit more from the left hand up.
The sun's away and the bird is estranged. The wind has dropped and the sky is deranged. Summer, summer has stopped. Summer has stopped.
Good. There's another one of these coming in a moment. Can I persuade you just to move forward in tempo a little bit during the course of the sun's away and the bird is estranged, the wind is da 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 dum da da, boom, song, and then pull it back just a little bit. I mean, I'm exaggerating just to give you the, and paint that word stopped.
Yeah.
Summer, summer has stopped. Stop all the clocks. Just allow your voice almost to sort of stop. And if we are getting a bit agitato, the sun's away and the summer has stopped, suddenly becomes still. Yeah?
And then you can take a little bit more writ there to sort of get back to the first tempo. And I think if you've accelerando a little bit more, then that will be easier. I know it might feel uncomfortable, but it is really clouding you just need to, so something to think about. But your right foot, I think, has been super glued to the sustaining pedal. You need to try to extract it.
Once again, top of the page, just before the sun's away.
The sun's away and the bird is estranged. The wind has dropped and the sky is deranged. Summer, summer has stopped. Summer has stopped.
Can I just say, sorry? And then I think in those last two bars, then you maybe, if you want to, I mean, you can do it just with the length of the notes, but if you want to use a little bit of pedal there, and I think you can take a little bit more writ. You're fine breathing-wise, and I think it just needs to sort of dissipate a little bit more, and make sure you allow the time for the stopped, so that you play that first chord on her vowel and you don't get there too soon. And in that previous bar, da, 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 really the voicing of those chords really needs to come through.
Go from there?
Yeah, summer, some. If you want to play the chord, the F minor chord, dum, some. Take your time. Clear that pedal. I think you can just give a little bit more of a magical time into this whole mood change. Da, 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 da. So you really, really lead her, and it also gives you time to do that decrescendo, which we want. You're not quite doing this bit at the same tempo. Yeah, you're getting a little bit ahead with the triplets. So Here you can, con pedal, she tells you can, yeah? So yeah, put that pedal down and really go for as kind of smooth a line as you can. And just when you go into this, I don't know what you think, but it's like, we're in a different, it's a very different section. Yeah, where you're at, so, you know, suddenly you're asking this question, look in my eyes, are you changing? Have you changed too? Have you, what's happened? It's this realization of, you know, is he the same person that I thought he was? And I think I want to see something different in you here.
I think you could actually use a slightly different voice.
Yeah.
Hello.
That's what I'm trying to say.
I think the important, I don't know, I'm painting a story here. You've perhaps discovered that he's been unfaithful. He's slept with somebody else. But you still love him. Look in my eyes. And there's a great tenderness with look in my eyes. And I just think that love and tenderness can come forward from the colour of your voice a little bit. Let's go into that, shall we? Just from where you would sing changed, but don't bother to sing it. And then so the last 2 bars, top of the page.
And just one tiny thing, and just, you know, the fact that you get this twice. The first time, pianissimo, look in my eyes, wilt thou change too, and then nor did she put it the second time, dolcissimo. So it's like you've got to find something for the colour for that second time that I think is so, like, painful for you. Yeah? You're really getting ahead. Da 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 da. You're da 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 da. Change. Da 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 da. You haven't aligned quite yet. Do you want to go straight on it? I thought your bar into it was absolutely stunning. It was beautiful. I loved it.
And a lovely colour from you. Really good.
But now, so if you want to do the bar into it, but then really try and hold on to these triplets because they're marching forward. Yeah? Interval that James was talking about earlier. I'm hearing a lot more of a B flat than a B natural. Thou change. It needs to be a super high B natural as well.
Good.
Yeah.
Really good. Just the word change is an odd word in English, isn't it? Change. Just make sure that the NG is not coming in too early. Change to. So it's che and then nch to.
The second
one, look in my eyes from there.
Sorry, second one.
Second one. So D flat major. Boom.
Okay, sorry, and I think you need to allow a little bit of time again. These triplets need a bit of flexibility because there's a breath. In my eyes, Wilton, you need time because it's, again, you're asking that question. So yeah, da 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 da. Just give her a little bit of time to breathe. In my eyes, wilt thou change too? Should I feel surprise? Shall I find aught new in the old and dear, in the good and true? just, lovely. Lovely. Sorry, just a couple of things here. No, you go. But I just think you can take more time. She's fine up there, and she's loving singing that top A, aren't you? And she can keep going forever. It sounds glorious. So let's hear more of it. And dum bum 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 dum dum yum bum bum bum. Yeah, enjoy that moment. You can't hold the pedal all the way through here. Yeah, it sounds like, well, you're certainly not clearing it, and so the harmony is not clear. One little thing here, if you can, I would be really wanting to make that legato there. Da, 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 da. You've got loads of time, you can change fingers as you go up, so it's, you did. Yeah. And then at the very end, do 2, 1, 5, 1, 5 in your left hand, so that's really legato, we're not really paying attention to when there are slur marks, and and I know there's not a slur mark there, but I really think it's gorgeous if that is a legato line.
I'd love to hear the last page again, and the accelerando at the first line, I'm just not really getting it. It's not quite happening, and I think it can come, just push her forward a bit. Go on, cha-cha-cha-cha-cha-cha-cha. And really sort of feel the bite of each of those triplet quavers urging forwards. And you can also just feel surprise. Shall I find aught? No! Oh. Just get on and move forward a bit. Shall we go the upbeat to the last page? Should I feel surprise? Should I? 1, 2, 3.
Should I feel surprise? Shall I find out? No.
Go!
In the old and
Go on, push!
in the good and true.
You're just stop. It's just not quite getting fast enough. Just keep pushing forward. Do you mind? Just once again. Should I fear?
Because I'm loving the energy
It's
in your
really
eyes
good.
and the fear and the surprise. That's really coming through. That's great.
Was I on the right note? Should I fear?
Should I feel surprise? Shall I find out? No. In the old and dear, in the good and true, in the changing year.
Beautiful. Just
Well
those
done.
last 2 bars, dolcissimo and morendo, she puts, yeah? And again, you've got wonderful, wonderful breath control. She can hold that note longer. And anyway, even if she comes off it, I don't think it matters, because that da 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 da, I mean, it's so expressive. And I don't know what you think. If it's a happy ending, do we think everything's going to be okay, or what? But this is certainly very, very beautiful and tender ending that I think you can bring out more. With the A against the G, and lots of emotion to express there.
Just, I fear we've reached the end of our time. It's been really a wonderful performance, so congratulations to both of you. But just briefly, I would like to say, on behalf of Anna and me, just say what a great pleasure it has been to be here today, and thank you all who have performed and for listening. It's been a great fun afternoon, and I hope you've got as much out of it as we have.
Yeah.
Thank you.
James and Anna, on behalf of Leeds Theatre and all our young artists, I think that's been an exceptional masterclass and quite unique to have 2 of the world's leading duos in the lead world and impart their knowledge to these young duos. I think it's given them hopefully a different perspective to come together and to understand the music as holistically. So thank you very much.